It's just recently been confirmed that Morro is officially coming in Dragon's Rising Season 3 sets, which means there's a very good chance that he will be coming in the show as well. That being said, I think that now is a good time to take a look at the fascinating history of this complex character and just see what makes him such a great Ninjago villain. That being said, let's get right into it, starting off with the earliest that we see Morro. So the first that we see Morro is when he's found by Wu. Wu first finds Morro searching trash cans outside of his monastery. Eventually, Wu realizes that this Morro is actually the Master of Wind, and eventually Master Wu decides to take Morro in as his own student. Master Wu says that Morro was the best student that he ever had, overcoming any obstacle that Master Wu would throw at him, and Master Wu started thinking that Morro was probably destined to be the legendary Green Ninja. Unfortunately, this idea also got into Morro's head a little bit, and he became super arrogant. As such, when the day came where Morro would ultimately realize whether he was the Green Ninja or not, Morro was super confident that he would actually be the chosen Green Ninja. So imagine his shock when Morro realizes that the golden weapons did not choose him and it was not his destiny to be the Green Ninja. Enraged by this and in an effort to prove destiny wrong, Morro went on a quest to find the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master, committing multiple atrocities on his quests, atrocities that would ultimately get him banished to the Cursed Realm. Unfortunately though, in his quest, he would go to the Caves of Despair, where an explosion would ultimately take his life. The next we see of Morro is shortly after the defeat of Master Chen. Master Chen used sorcery to turn his whole army into a bunch of anacondrae and use it to take over Ninjago. Ultimately, the ninja had to open the Cursed Realm to defeat him, and in the process, Morro escaped. Morro tricks Lloyd and ends up possessing Lloyd, using all of Lloyd's powers and ultimately defeating the remaining four ninja. It turns out here that Morro actually had a problem, that of course being that only 3% of you guys are subscribed. These videos take a lot of time and effort to make, so if you could subscribe, that would be a huge help to this channel. But anyway, now back to the video. Anyway, Morro's actual problem was the fact that he didn't have all the tools to go looking for the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master, and thus he needed to find them, and the place he could find them was on Master Wu's staff. It's here that Morro realizes the two things that he will need to find the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master. First, he sets his eyes on the Scroll of Air Jitsu, a scroll that will grant the user the ability to use Air Jitsu, a martial art that basically allows you to fly. Morro gets this scroll. Next, he sets his eyes on the Sword of Sanctuary, a magical sword that can let you see your opponent's next moves, which he again fights with the ninja, but ultimately receives in the end as well. With everything he needs, Morro then embarks on a quest to finally find the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master. It's revealed that in the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master lies a powerful relic called the Realm Crystal, which allows the user to travel between all 16 different realms parallel to Ninjago. Of course, Morro wants this so he can free his master, the Preeminent, and in the end, he does manage to arrive in the cave that holds the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master. With the Sword of Sanctuary and the Scroll of Air Jitsu, Morro's easily able to bypass 2 out of the 3 tests that he needs to pass in order to find the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master, but much to his dismay, it turns out that the ninja have actually been following up to Morro and actually caught up to him by the 3rd challenge as well. The ninja, however, are able to solve the 3rd test and get to the tomb of the first Spinjitzu master much before Morro, getting the realm crystal before he does. However, when all seems lost for Morro, Morro suddenly turns on Lloyd's body and threatens to kill Lloyd if the ninja do not give him the realm crystal. The ninja are forced to give Morro the realm crystal, and ultimately Morro does get his plan to work. Morro goes to a city known as the City of Sticks, the same place where he found the Scroll of Air Jitsu, and prepares to release the Preeminent. The Preeminent is eventually released. However, the ninja, with the help of their newest member Nia, the Master of Water, they're actually able to defeat the Preeminent by drowning her in the ocean. As the preeminent drowns in the sea, she attempts to pull back Morro with her, and here we have a conversation between Wu and his prized pupil. And here is where Morro realizes that it never was his destiny to become the Green Ninja, and sometimes you can't avoid fate and you have to do the best with what you can. Now coming to this realization, Morro gives Wu the Realm Crystal and lets himself drown in the sea, finally accepting his destiny for once. So that concludes Morro's tale in season 5, but we see him again in Day of the Departed. In Day of the Departed, an evil sorcerer, Master Yang, attempts to use magic to bring back some of Ninjago's worst villains, including Morro. However, this time, Morro chooses to help the ninja, informing them of Master Yang's plan to use the yin yang eclipse to make himself human again. And in the end, he willingly goes back to the departed realm, again, finally accepting his destiny. I think Morro is one of the best Ninjago villains just because of how unique his arc is. His arc, just in general, serves as a reminder to not let excessive arrogance get to your head, as Morro was a very capable ninja, and he could have been very powerful if he hadn't let his arrogance cloud his judgment. Honestly, I can see why a lot of fans are confused about Morro's return in Dragon's Rising, and personally, I am too. Morro did have a really good ending, but I do have faith in the writers of Dragon's Rising, and I really hope they do him justice because, yeah, he is an awesome character.